The average human attention span is down to less than a goldfish. A goldfish. What does that mean for our brains, and how do we get out of this constant cycle of scrolling and scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels? Hi, I'm Michelle, and if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. And honestly, I've been there, doom scrolling for hours and hours on end, and I'm not happy about it. And here are some things and tricks and ways to get out of that cycle. First off, let's define brain rot. It is not a medical term, but it is used so frequently right now that it might as well be. It's a common feeling of being mentally exhausted from looking at your phone. A lack of motivation due to the fact of a low effort stimulation. And since our social media changes so quick, like fast fashion, people's needs and wants of fitting in is overpowering their motivation and creativity. Because due to the fact of all of their brain rot and entertainment being at the tips of their fingers, we don't really have to do much to get that quick hit of dopamine. And I do realize I just didn't snap my fingers like that. Brain rot is basically defined as frying your brain cells. That is so scary to think about. So things that people did not that long ago, like learning, exercising, reading, socializing, doesn't stimulate our brains anymore the way that it used to. I have also fallen victim too many times to count at being so invested and so inspired by a TV show or movie or whatever, and I'm still sitting there scrolling on my phone, playing a game, looking at ads, shopping, whatever it is. I need two screens in front of me. I don't need two screens in front of me, but like it's just there as like a double dose of dopamine. And it's not that I wasn't invested in TV shows and movies. I was. It's just the fact that it became a habit to scroll or play a game on my phone. Dopamine is where we find a simple chemical spike of happiness through our brain. We crave that, and when we are doom scrolling, we are getting that like non-stop, and it is exhausting our dopamine levels to the point where we just don't feel dopamine in our reality, like face to face. Technology is so overstimulating, and it is really detaching us from our everyday lives, especially at days like this when technology is at an all-time high and just advancing and advancing to newer features and newer, cooler devices. We don't know that bunnies on trampolines are AI anymore. Technology has ruined so many things for us to not live in the moment. Personally, I love to search up places to go when you are in a specific town that I'm traveling before I start traveling. But they show you, not just inform you, but they also show you those sites. And then, you know how TikTok is, it picks up on what you're searching and just starts showing you the aesthetics of the thing, that when I get to the place and it's a beautiful place, like that church that's in Spain that has been built for thousands of years, I have seen it so much on my TikTok that when I'm standing in front of it, I'm like, oh, like it's not really in front of me because I'm so dissociated from the fact of seeing it from every single angle on TikTok. And I'm just kind of like, oh, that's it. But honestly, it is just magnificent and beautiful and even prettier in person. But for a split second, my first thought was, that's it. Or the way you travel and you see people living their vacation through a camera lens because they're just walking through with their phones taking videos and pictures. Am I saying that I don't take photos and videos when I'm on vacation? Yes, of course I do. I even made a family documentary for my family from us coming from a trip that we went on in June. But I also was very well aware that sometimes I had to put my phone away and just be in the moment. Social media is its own thing because I feel like it's so detrimental to the younger generations. It's not monitored in schools or in clubs or whatever, or it's not monitored like face-to-face content when you're sitting in school, and that can lead to cyberbullying, which is honestly so bad. And I feel like it's so detrimental to the kids nowadays, especially at a young age. That is something that will stay with you. Younger groups comparing themselves to people who are older and they just want to buy things like Drunk Elephant. Or their constant access to influencers on TikTok and Instagram where they are one or more of the following: older, have work done, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people aren't advertising that they have had work done, and that creates such an unrealistic beauty standards for the younger girls. People edit photos, they've used professional products while taking photos, etc. The list could literally go on and on. Everywhere I go, everybody's just on their phone, whether they're alone or with a group of people, everybody's on their phone. And I have made it a New Year's resolution last year to be a little bit more disassociated from my phone. And like, I've had blimps here and there where I've been attached to my phone, but for the most part, I've stayed pretty much on it. The goal, not the phone. Technology is really tainting the way that our mannerisms play out and the way that we interact with people in our relationships in a negative way. The internet is a scary dark hole that you can get sucked into, especially when you're younger. Unplug, get away from the technology. It really gives you a purpose and perspective on things to do. It helps you come into your own when you are more aware of your surroundings, because it helps you feel more grounded and centered. So what can we do with this problem? You could take small steps by filtering in what content we let in our life. Avoid doing doom scrolling things, staying curious, open-minded, mindful of our surroundings, and always try to aim to learn something new. Even if that means like on your phone you have to put in those locks on your app, like I could only go on TikTok for an hour a day. You can start, honestly, I did this for the past couple of nights and it's been a real game changer. It's like turning my phone off like an hour or like 45 minutes before I go to bed and just reading beforehand. I'm not like reading something boring, I'm reading like a good book, but it just helps your brain kind of focus on what you're doing instead of doom scrolling and your brain being so active. It really makes it harder for me to sleep if I'm not reading before I go to sleep. I'm not saying turn off every single screen. I'm just saying be more mindful. Like if you are focused on a TV show that you're watching, you are only watching that TV show. You are not also on your phone. If you are on your computer doing a work thing or doing something for school, you are not on top of that also on your phone. One screen at a time. Also, this is so hard for me and I'm really trying to incorporate it more, is in the morning avoiding my phone. Like it's not the first thing that I get. But it's a little bit harder because my alarm clock is also my phone, so I still have to touch my phone no matter what. Maybe the solution here is buying an alarm clock, but still. Finding hobbies outside of technology that you could just put your creativity into. Or finding a hobby that can replace that two-screen dynamic, because I swear, like, when I changed from watching TV and scrolling on my phone to watching TV and also painting, I was so creatively stimulated that like my brain was like, oh, this is like feeling better. Like I felt like I had more energy throughout the day rather than feeling so groggy. I just kind of found out that I just need to do something with my hands. So for me, that was painting. For you, it could be also junk journaling in general, something to keep you busy. I know that this is a very luxury hobby with gas prices going up and people's fear of driving, which I totally get because I haven't driven in so many years even though I have my license. But like 2 months ago, after being scared of driving for like maybe 3 years, because I got my license at 18 and now I'm 21 and I started driving 2 months ago, I feel adrenaline after driving. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And I'm like, is this a little bit of like how it feels like to be a guy? Is this my testosterone coming off? Because I feel so in control when I'm driving that like everything else tunes out, especially if I'm in the car by myself and just driving. This is gonna sound so douchey and like a guy, but like me, an open road and my pop princess music playing, my dream date. It also gets me out of the house and makes me feel like really good. Other things you could do just to stay away from your screens is trying a recipe, puzzles, sewing, etc. Like you could find something to do with your hands, because I feel like we are made as humans to express ourselves through our hands and by doing things. The possibilities are endless for your new hobbies. It's about finding your own space and creating inside of a world that isn't technology. Like yes, I have these videos that I do and other things that I do online that are counted as hobbies. But I do also love to paint. I love to junk journal. It all gives me dopamine to stimulate me enough. These hobbies and this time away from brain rotting will give you a new sense of dopamine. It won't spike it up for 2 seconds. It will have a longevity of it, just like kind of overall, like your dopamine levels will be higher. Which at first it might not feel like a big difference, but then later on, that's gonna hit. But I promise you, it will give you purpose and so much fulfillment. This week, I hope that you guys try to find like at least 30 minutes just away from all your screens to do anything that you want to do. You could do a rage room for all I care. Literally do something legal and not harmful to yourself or anybody else, and try to do something that like creatively will stimulate you for 30 minutes. Just to be away from technology, from your phone, from your iPad, your computers, your TV. Just give yourself a moment to be present with your own thoughts. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I literally love you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.